Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Monday night Playalong Bluegrass Jam. Thanks for joining me here tonight. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon here in San Diego County. This is my penultimate session here at the old home place, the old adobe hacienda on the hill that my great-grandparents built back in the late 1930s. And it's been a sweet time. Been a lot of hard work and lots of things that I've been doing my best to keep up on. And also lots of nice family time. And I say afternoon. This is the time of day where it's getting to be afternoon again and not evening. The sun is setting later and later. And we're the night after the full moon, of course, so that moon will be up shortly after the sun goes down. And I'm going to double check on our coverage here, make sure the live stream is working. And then we're going to get to it. And we are going to jam together in a virtual way. Okay, Facebook is live. That's great. Mute that. Okay, I'm going to dig in on the YouTube channel. And our first song of the night is going to be Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Let's see. Are we live on YouTube? Looks like we are live on YouTube. Okay. Wonderful. That's great. Okay, Swing Low, a Sweet Chariot, which comes up as a bluegrass song often. Of course, we're in Black History Month and trying to just be aware and listen and learn more about equality in this country. And sometimes there's mixed feelings about doing songs like this. I just think this is a good song. It was originally recorded by the Fisk Jubilee Singers long time ago, maybe in like the 1910s or 20s. And this was an all African American group in Nashville. So, and this was a classic hymn, very well known in the African American churches, and of course it's very well known in lots of different churches and among lots of people. So we're going to sing the song just because I love this song, and it is quite fun to pick and quite fun to sing. And it goes like this, in the key of G. Now, just kind of a brief primer on, again, how we do this. Most of you know this drill, but how we do this in the Play-Along Jam is I give you just a really brief rundown of how the song goes. I'm not necessarily giving you a lesson on the song. I'm just giving you a quick run through. So most of these songs you're probably familiar with. Like this song you could probably sing to me if I asked you to. So this is a great example of a song that's in your head already. You may not have ever played it before, or you may have. Either way, I give you a brief rundown of the chord changes, and then I will play a sample of how I might kick the song off, and then you're just on the spot. You're just thrown into the water, the way it goes at jam sessions, and you're going to kick off the song in the safety and security of your own home. And then we just jam on the song back and forth. I kind of direct you. I'll play the first solo, typically, or the first break, as we call them in bluegrass style. And then you'll take the next one after the following verse and chorus. And oftentimes it'll go me, then you. That's a cue I give sometimes. Me, then you. I'll play one, and then you play one right after me. Sometimes I'll just say, I got it, or I'll play it. But that's always the format, typically, unless I specify otherwise. You kick off the song, and we'll sing verse and chorus, and then I'll play one, sing verse and chorus, you play one, and it goes like that. So this is by no means meant to be a music lesson, the way you would learn a song from an instructor. But this is a great way to absorb music, and this is also a great way to learn the songs by coming back here on Monday nights and just trying and picking up on these songs that you can work on throughout the week. Anyhow, this song goes like this. And I'm shouting the numbers of the chord because I want you to understand that language. In the key of G. G is the 1 chord, C is the 4 chord, D is the 5 chord. So this goes 1 and a 1 and a 4 and a 1, 1 and a 1 and 5, 1 and 1 and 4 and a 1, 1 and 5 and a 1. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Same chords as the verse. 4 and 4 and 1, 1 and a 5 and a 1. Okay? And the way I might kick it off, and I'll go ahead and turn on my click track, because we always play with a click to keep us together, to keep us honest about the tempo. This is a nice slow tempo because we're on the slow jam. And as we go through the evening, we kind of pick up the tempo as we go. So here's the click. It's always on the backbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the mandolin chop, essentially. And I like to practice with my click this way. It's way more fun, way more musical, and encourages you to swing a little bit harder. So here's how I might kick it off, and here's how I will count you in. So here's me demonstrating the kickoff. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, there's no rules for exactly how to kick off a song, but one of the primary guidelines is to play the melody. So you heard me playing a melody that was sort of decorated with a few little things like strums, cross-picking, a couple licks. But just playing the melody on its own is a fine way to kick off a song if that's what you got. So go ahead and kick us off here to the best of your ability on Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and we will play the song. And you better be singing along. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. What did I see coming for to carry me home? A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I got it. I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still my sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Play. Coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming there too. Coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. All right. I realized I needed to turn that click up a tiny bit. I was rushing. When I practice with a metronome on my own, I try to make the metronome barely audible, so I can start trusting my inner sense of timing. That was a little too inaudible, so I found myself getting ahead of the click. So I turned that up just a wee bit. Okay, fun. Love singing that song, and love playing that melody, and it works out wonderfully as a bluegrass song. Okay, getting back to some traditional bluegrass here with a Lester Flatt composition. I believe Lester and Earl probably wrote this one together, Before I Met You. And this is a waltz. It's in 3/4 time. And it goes 1, 1 and 4 and 1, 1, 1 and 5, 1, 1 and 4 and 1, 1, 5 and 1, 4, 4, 1 and 1, 1, 1 and 5, 1, 1 and 4 and 1, 1 and 5 and 1. Fun, simple song. We were only going to be picking over the verse, so I just played you all the way through the verse and the chorus. Typically, the common denominator is that in bluegrass style, we pick over the verses. It's not always the case, but in the case of this song and the case of that last song, it is. So the melody you want to know is the melody of the verse. Of course, learn all the melodies you possibly can and get better at picking up melodies instantly. That's our goal as musicians. But the melody of the verse, I'll find a click track and I will sort of show you how I might kick this off. But the melody basically runs down a major scale starting on the 3rd note. 1, 2, 3, and you just descend. Starts with a descending major scale. 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1. It's not always easy to spit out the numbers of the scale degrees exactly, but if you know that sound and you know those scale degrees really, really well, as I challenge you to learn if you don't. then you can just jump on these melodies instantly and find fun ways to jam on them. So understanding melody is key to playing this style, and truly to playing any style of music, unless you're a drummer. But the good drummers still can sing you the melody of the song. Every part of the song is important. So my kickoff, let's see, where's my tempo here? Okay, that's a nice easy tempo for this 3/4 time. And when I'm counting off a waltz or a song that's in 3/4, I count 4 full measures. So here I am kicking it off to demonstrate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Okay, or any way you want, but that was a good kickoff, and it was authentic to the melody, so that's what we want. So no matter what instrument you're playing, and no matter how well you know this tune, this song, I should say, you are going to kick this song off. Before I Met You in the key of G. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. say I must reap just what I have sown. Well, darling, I hope that's not true. For once I made plans about living alone. That was before I met you. I thought I was swinging the world by the tail. I thought I would never be blue. I thought I'd been kissed and I thought I'd been loved. But that was before I met you. Okay, the cues, of course, are to end the song. That's just a little dip of the neck. If we were gonna tag it, I would do that. Because you can't see my foot, and at a jam session, my foot kick would signify the end of the song. This would be the same. So I realized I'm kind of jumping the gun on Valentine's week. I've got a few of the really good love songs in the set list this week, and some of those might need to be repeated next week for the night before Valentine's Day, Monday night. These songs of love, true, lost, and unrequited, as we did last year. It was pretty fun. So there can be some lonesome, unrequited love songs or songs of bereavement, as there are many of in the Bluegrass catalog, and a few genuine love songs, which we just sang one of them. So a bit of insight into things that I play, and you see me often when I'm going to the 4 chord, play that 7th. So anytime you hear that 7th chord, if it's not like a bluesy blues that just lives in the dominant 7th modality, if you hear me do this, you know the 4 chord is coming. And you hear that on the end of the chorus, like on the end of the verse, that was before I met you. I'll do a big old G7 to signify that 4 chord is coming. And what you are doing technically is you're creating a secondary dominant chord. You're turning this G into the dominant of the C. In other words, the 5 of that C chord, by making it a 7th. So 7th chords are technically known as dominant 7th chords. So when we take the 1 chord and you put that flat 7 in there, no matter where it is, if it's down in the low octave, if it's up in the high octave, if it's down there, it doesn't matter. As soon as you add that 7th, that chord becomes a dominant 7th chord, and it really wants to resolve to the 4. So we call that the 5 of the 4. A bit of music theory for you. Okay, how's everybody doing out there? I'm going to do a quick check-in on everyone who's playing along live. Hello, Sandy in Bakersfield. Hello, Ava York up in Arcata, Humboldt County. Steve Yeager in NorCal. Learning so much. Very cool. Bob Dickinson in RVA. That's Richmond, Virginia, correct? Dodger Martin, hello. One of the coolest names on YouTube. Dan from Crystal Lake. Sorry, Den Mach from Crystal Lake. All right. Nice to see you. Chuck McLaughlin in Fort Collins. Carl Malley in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Chuck Scarswain. Chuck. I'm totally murdering your last name, I think, but it looks really cool. In East Tennessee. Thanks, Chuck, for being here. Hi, Ron Lipton in Northern Indiana. Fuzzy Little Hippie Girl in Howard, Colorado. I know who wrote that song. Ty Van Valkenburg. Sun's almost down in Texas, but it's still daytime there. Yeah, it's, we're far away from each other. Nice to see you all here on the YouTube channel. How about Facebook land? Jam Hanaway in New Jersey. Hello, sir. Colin Burns up late in the wee morning hours in the UK. Thanks for being here, Colin. Hello, David Holcamp in New Mexico. Hi, Tater Obenson. Tater, picking the banjo in Michigan. David Matthews, playing a little banjo and guitar in Prairie Village, Kansas. Peter Avery, I was waiting for the Chuck Norris comment. I'd like to maybe start a discussion on who you look like. Jack McGuire in Ohio, hello. Nice to see you, Jack. Hello, Daniel McPartland in Richmond, Virginia. Got a bunch of Richmond friends out here, including my friend Plum down here. Hello, Plum, Cliverius. Hi, Jack McGuire. And James Setzer in Southport, North Carolina. Cool. I don't know why the Chuck Norris comments bother me, but they do for some reason. I don't know. It's like, especially if someone comes up and says, hey, does anyone ever tell you? And I'm like, yes, everybody tells me that. And I don't know why they feel compelled to tell me who I look like. Maybe I've just gotten this for many years. And it's funny because when I had long hair, it went away. And then as soon as I cut my hair, the Chuck Norris comments come back. But hey, I try to keep a good sense of humor about it. And I might just kill you with this flat pick. Or I might just break a string by staring at it, right? These are Chuck Norris jokes. Okay. Anyhow, a couple of fun things happening. I got this vinyl in my hands, which is the fun thing. Don't look like Chuck Norris on that cover, do I? Anyway, if you don't have the new record on vinyl, you should order it. TylerGrant.com. You can pick one up and get it mailed right to your house. It's delicious 150-gram vinyl. And it's so pretty and it sounds so good. Look at that. Trying to have a good time on vinyl. So that's a fun thing to pick up. I've got stickers. You can't order these, but you'll just have to find me somewhere. And I got these new stickers, which are really fun. So those are fun things. They're at Grant Central. And I got a bunch of gigs coming up, including Midwinter Bluegrass Festival a week from Sunday in Denver. That's going to be a fun traditional bluegrass festival. And I got lots of other dates coming up. Just have a look at my website, TylerGrant.com. Okay, moving on. We got a Fireball Mail. And this is a fun song. It's a fun tune, I should say. Well, I digress. There's songs and tunes. Songs you sing, they have words. Tunes you pick, they don't have words. This song has words, but we're just picking it. So we're treating it like a tune. And it goes in the key of G. Da da da, 1 and 1 and 1 and a 1 and a 5 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 5. Fireball Mail. And you go through that 2 times. And that's 1 go. That's 1 break. Okay? Twice through the form. So what's going to happen is I'm going to kick it off because it's an instrumental and they just work better when I kick off instrumentals. And I'll play it all the way through twice, and then you'll play it all the way through twice, and then I'll do it again twice, and then you'll do it again twice, and that's it. Okay? Here we go. The Fireball Mail in the key of G. All you banjo players learned this from the Earl Scruggs book. I learned it from the Earl Scruggs book on banjo as well. But we're playing it on whatever instrument you got in your hand right now. Here we go. I'll kick us off on Fireball Mail. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right. Another tidbit in my mindset is I try to avoid too many G runs because I know there's a lot of guitar players out there and I don't want to double up on your G runs. But it's just kind of so automatic that that I throw them in there just by feel. But oftentimes, at least at the end of the kickoff, oftentimes, if you're playing banjo, you might be thinking, where's the G run? But that's the reason why I try to not play as many G runs as I typically would, because I don't want to have that funny 12-string stereo effect with guitar players who are playing along. Okay, will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Another one I could have easily saved for Valentine's week, but hey, a song of lost love. And a poetic association helping this person grieve his lost love who is buried in the sand. I'm going to double check tuning here. The old Martin has old Martin disease, and it's just always going to be there. It sure sounds good when it's in tune, and it still sounds pretty good when it's out of tune, but I'm going to do my best to get old Red tuned up here. Well, Molly Tuttle won a Grammy. Hey, another flat-picking friend with a Grammy. That is awesome news. She is a great guitar player, great singer, great musician, very nice person. So there's a tidbit to celebrate. Okay, Will the Roses Bloom in the key of C. It goes, and a 1 and 1 and a 4 and a 1 and 1 and a 5 and a 1 and 1 and a 4 and a 1 and 5 and a 1. You'll see me automatically throw that 7th chord in after a couple strums. Right? Just like that we talked about, turning that 1 chord into the dominant of the 4 chord. You don't even have to think about it in those terms. Just know that that's why we put those dominants on the 1 chord when we go to the 4, because it just leads into that chord in a really cool way, and it makes sense with music theory. Okay. Sleeping. This is a good tempo. I will demonstrate a kickoff. A 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to back this down a couple notches because we are at the slow jam. I want to challenge everybody, but I want to keep you comfortable as well. So I'm slowing that down just a tish bit in case you got some hot cross picking you really want to work on or some other kind of fancy kickoff. So here we go. Feel that tempo. Dum, 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 and kick us off on Will the Roses Bloom Where She Lies Sleeping in the key of C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? I got it. eyes shone like the starlight sky. Her hair was dark and it was curly. I love her till the day I die. Well, the roses bloom where she lies sleeping. Well, the flowers shed their petals there. Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? Play. Darling, as she's sleeping underneath a beautiful sky. I miss her more now that she's left me. I know we've said our last goodbye. Well, the roses bloom where she lies sleeping. Well, the flowers shed their petals there. Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? All right. Great song. And fun to sing, really fun to sing harmonies. I hope you were singing along. When I am leading these songs in this context, however I sang at the first chorus, I try to sing it that way again the second chorus. Phrasing kind of changes from singer to singer, from day to day, from tempo to tempo. So I try to keep it consistent, at least based on the first time. And if you're an excellent harmony singer, you will be at a jam and adjust to that lead singer. And by that third chorus, you better be right on it with the phrasing. So pay close attention. And a good lead singer will help you out by keeping the phrasing consistent on each chorus. Okay, Sitting on Top of the World. A song of celebrated lost love. We're way ahead of ourselves for our next week's session. If you have requests for next Monday, the night before Valentine's, songs of lost love, true love, unrequited love, any of those things, please send them to me in a message. So I will get your requests in there for next week. So, Sitting on Top of the World, the way that we play it, kind of the bluegrass version, goes 1 and a 1 and a 4. Sorry, I'll slow it down. Back to 1 and a 1 and 1 and a 1 and 5 and a 1. Another thing about being at a jam, and this has happened to me before with experienced players, that I was actually kind of surprised that they weren't following my chord changes and would automatically throw in like a 6 minor or something. When I'm not throwing in the 6 minor, I just hold that one chord. So always follow the leader. Whoever's call it is, follow their version. And there's certain players who will play it a slightly different way. And I like this bluegrass style of this song where we don't do the minor chord. I'll run you through it one more time so you get an idea. 'Twas in the spring, one sunny day, and here's the 4, and back to 1, and this is all 1. Now she's gone, and I don't worry. 1 and 5 and a 1. So always, while watch that leader like a hawk and really listen and play the version that they're playing. There's my venting for the day. So I'm going to up this tempo just a wee bit because we got to start pushing a little bit toward the mid-tempo jam. And of course, everything we're doing here, most of these songs, pretty much all of them on this set list, are slower than they usually go. We might actually, Blue and Lonesome might actually be at performance tempo because that's a slow, shuffly number. But in the slow jam, we're basically slowing everything down from typical performance tempo. But still, we're pushing that up a little bit. So here's how I might kick off Sitting on Top of the World in A. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Those of you who know me and those of you who don't know me by now realize that I like to do a lot of cross picking. So you'll hear bits of cross picking in most of my kickoffs. But I was trying to get the melody very true in there. So however you feel like kicking it off, go ahead and do so on Sitting on Top of the World here in the key of A. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Top song that might be overdone in some circles. That's why I don't bring it up that often, but it's always a good time. If the voice is up for it, it's always a good time. Okay, Red-Haired Boy, our second instrumental of the evening. Another note for guitar players, don't always trust what you see. I just told you on the last time some advice to watch that leader like a hawk. Well, do that. But notice, if I'm playing this G chord, you might think I'm playing the bluegrass G, which sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not, right? So sometimes I'm playing this G chord, but it looks like the closed off B string. So it depends. I always hold my hand in this, most of the time, I hold my G chord in this position so I can play either one, the open B string or the fretted third fret of the B string. So just a tidbit, trust your ears on that one. Okay, Red-Haired Boy. Let's just stay right at this tempo. And assuming most of you know Red-Haired Boy if you're in the bluegrass world, but I'll run you through the changes here real quick in case you don't know it and you just want to strum along. It goes in the key of A. 1 and 1, 1 and a 4, 1 and 1, flat 7. 1, 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5 and a 1. Anyway. You hear me toot, toot, toot through these fiddle tunes. So once again, the flat 7 in this key would be, I'm capoed, so I'm holding an F shape, but it's a G chord. Whenever I say flat 7, or when in a bluegrass circle someone just says it's the 7, they're talking about the flat 7 major, which is just a major chord, which is a whole step lower than the tonic chord. So in the key of G, your flat 7 chord is an F. In the key of A, your flat 7 chord is a G. Just start to get quick at that and get automatic with it. Anyway, one more time. 1 and 1, 1 and a 4, 1 and 1, flat 7. 1 and 1, 1 and a 4, 1 and 1, and a 5 and a 1. That's the A part, it repeats. Then here's the B part. Flat 7, 4, 1 and 1, flat 7, 1 and a 1, 1 and a 4, 1 and 1, and a 5 and a 1, and then that section repeats. Okay, we gotta move, so we're just going to play the tune, and it'll go twice through. I'm gonna kick it off, and I'll play it all the way through, 2 A's, 2 B's. Then you play it all the way through, 2 A's, 2 B's. Then I do the same thing again, then you do the same thing again, and then you tag it after your second time through the tune. Red-Haired Boy. Here we go. I'll kick it off in the key of A. Okay, and on tags, of course, if you start the tag, I might answer you. So sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll just strum through it. Okay, Blue, I'm Lonesome. Now, why have we never done this song? We may have done it in the past, a long time ago, but I don't know. This just popped into my head during the week, and I thought, wow, we hardly ever do Blue and Lonesome. There's some mythology around the origins of this song. The story goes that Bill Monroe and Hank Williams wrote it together backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. And I believe they share the publishing. However, Jimmy Martin testified that Hank Williams wrote the song. And Bill had nothing to do with it. He just learned it from Hank, and they might have sang it together back then. It was a cutthroat world of music publishing, and some of these bluegrass luminaries kind of took advantage of others. I know of a few songs, a few instrumental tunes, I should say, that we know for sure were not written by Monroe. We know who wrote them, and Monroe claimed the credit, but anyway, that's the subject of another broadcast discussion. So yeah, let's play Blue and Lonesome in the key of B. This is a duet, right? It's a fun song to sing harmony and get real high and lonesome with, and it goes. One and one and a four and one and one and five and one and one and one and four and one and one and five and one and then five and five, one and one, two dominant, two, five and five, and one and a four and one and five and one. So that two dominant in my capo position here is an A7 chord. If you're playing without a capo, or the concert chord, I should say, would be a C sharp 7th, going to your F sharp 7th. Back to the B chord. Okay, now something I need to clear up about the lyric of this song, because many people get it wrong. It's the lonesome sigh of a train going by makes me want to stop and cry. It's not lonesome sound or lonesome sight. It's the lonesome sigh. Okay? Lonesome sigh. If I'm kicking this off, this is a good performance tempo of the song. And it's slower than the last few songs we've been doing. So it goes, the kickoff would be 1, 2, 3. Something like that. I'm kind of alluding to the melody as best I can while throwing in a couple bluesy licks. Here we go. Kick us off on I'm Blue, I'm Lonesome in the key of B. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The want to stop and cry. Play. When I hear that whistle blow, I wanna pack my trunk and go. The lonesome sight of a train going by makes me wanna stop and cry. I'm blue and I'm lonesome too. I'm blue and I'm lonesome too. All right. I forgot to warn you ahead of time about it. That's how the tag goes. You just sing I'm blue and I'm lonesome too. Fun. All right. On the spot there with the high Monroe squeaky tenor, but that sure was fun. Okay, when my blue moon turns to gold again, in honor of this night after the full moon here. And just a cool song. In B it goes. 1 and 1 and a 5. 5 and 5 and a 1. 1 and 1 and a 5. And a 4 and 5 and a 1. So let's find a tempo. And we're still in a slow tempo zone, but we're pushing toward the mid-tempo jam, which is going to start shortly after we're done here. So come on back for the mid-tempo jam when we wrap here, okay? So here's how I might kick it off when my blue moon turns to gold again. 1, 2, 3. Something like that. So go ahead and kick us here, and we'll play When My Blue Moon Turns to Gold Again in the key of B. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Memories that linger in my heart, memories that make my heart grow cold, but someday they'll live again, sweetheart, when my blue moon again will turn to gold, when my blue moon turns to gold again, when the rainbows turn the clouds away, when my blue moon turns to gold again, you'll be back within my arms to stay. I got it. So your kisses were made for only me, but in dreams they'll live again, sweetheart, and my golden moon is just a memory, when my blue moon turns to gold again, when the rainbow turns the clouds away, when my blue moon turns to gold again. All right, well, this has been a really fun slow jam. In about 5 minutes, we'll be back on a new thread, a new video for the mid-tempo jam. So come on back. Really appreciate the donations. Thank you all for being supportive. Send in your requests for next week for Valentine's. And as far as those donations go, if you use PayPal, go ahead and do friends and family. There's no reason to pay the fee for paying for a good or service. Just say I'm your friend and family, and we'll skip those fees. Okay, thanks so much. I'll see you in about 5 minutes.